thank you for tuning in
Yep.
again. We're
Hello.
back. It is Staying Sane with Jay and my partner in crime, Hussein, as we
Yeah.
cover the weekly religious nonsense that plagues our world. So, what's going
Yeah.
on this week, Hussein?
Yeah. Pretty good. How was
Yeah,
yours?
yeah, not bad. Yeah,
Okay.
bit tired. Not sleeping as much as I'd like to, but got things to do. So,
Great. So,
yeah.
what's the stories with you? Let's begin with
Well,
that.
interesting story out of the UK this week that a
Mhm.
gay man has been paid compensation by the Anglican Church, the Church of England, who was currently forced into a pray the gay away exorcism. So he was said like he's let demons inside of him, and so the church is it doesn't say in the article how much he was paid, but he's actually uh, gotten payment from the church for this which it was essentially gay conversion therapy and then
Mhm.
enforced exorcism. So it's good to see the church being held to account for that kind of crap. Other than that, the other main big story has been what's been going on in Israel and the global condemnation.
Mhm.
The earlier report, there was the killing of the civilians in Gaza. 28 nations condemned it. Apparently, the latest headline I saw said the WHO has also condemned it. So everyone is piling on in their condemnation of Israel's basically what they think they can indiscriminate killing of civilians. So
Mhm.
which they claim is oh
If they have killed,
it's
it's totally
anti-Semitic to claim that we're doing it on
despicable.
purpose. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what are your thoughts on this, the latest
Yeah.
killings?
If they have killed purposefully, it's
Oh,
despicable.
your
There's no
sound has
question in that.
disappeared.
Am I not audible? Hello.
Oh,
Yeah. It's in here.
hi.
Hello. Hello.
You backstage, we could hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Okay. We
Yeah.
could hear you fine backstage. Can our viewers in the comments? Can our viewers? Can you hear
Am I
Hussein?
audible?
Okay.
Am I audible? Someone please respond. Yeah, someone is
It was
responding.
working before. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. It's when I clicked on the tab, it muted it by mistake. Sorry. My bad. My bad. All right. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah. So if that was done purposefully, that's despicable. There's no question in that. That's one part. And apart from that, it was over and over, multiple times clarified that how the shootings happen at the aid sites. So that's one thing which we have to come to a conclusion that what is happening over there, because every time a shooting happens, the first thing that comes out is the blame is over Israel, and the second thing is that the Israel releases the footages or they give out the evidence what's really going on there. Then what happens next is,
Not every time. There's been quite
yeah,
a few
most
where
of the
they've been
time it's
caught.
like that.
There have been a lot of times where Israel has been caught literally, shooting
Never,
indiscriminately. No,
never.
do
For this
you
aid
say
site,
never.
it is zero.
That is
For the
not true.
aid site, it is zero.
Okay.
And there is numerous evidence how the Hamas infiltrate into this group of people. They shoot and they just disappear into the people, and how they cause the havoc over there, and they just kill people. And all the time, the footages are always released, and it takes time to conclude the investigation and release the reports, and that goes on. So I don't think there's much a point in discussing each and every report, every propaganda of the shooting at the aid sites, because that's not happening, because we have seen it multiple times clarified with evidence, and even the media pulling out their reports over that. So I don't, I don't think there's much point, or I don't think that's worthwhile discussing it over and over like this. Yeah.
Okay. Fair
but
enough.
but at
Yeah.
the same
Again.
time, I have something which I can share with you. That's about a killing of a US killings near a West Bank village where an American Palestinian was killed.
I
Okay,
saw
that
that.
was, yeah, that happened in West Bank, and I can pretty clear say that that was totally that should be totally condemned, and that should never happen, because on one side we accept that there's a right for the Israelis who are trying to settle over there, because they have that their ancestral home or whatever they call it that way. But that doesn't mean that they have to displace the people who are living over there. And in that name, they create a kind of a enmity over there, or kind of a friction in which constant clashes are happening, and even the extremist elements within the Israeli population are causing this trouble. And that's totally condemnable, or that's totally embarrassing for the whole of the world. Because on one side, when we try to defend what Israel is not doing, and which is being accused of them, but at the same time we are seeing activities like this, that means that is undermining, or that will create a problem for us too. Okay, apart from what really happens over there. And it gives it pains Israel as a country, which can be easy for the other people to equate them with what the other side is doing. That's what the reality is. And also, when we see this, even if a person from the other side is getting killed by any of the extremist elements from the Israeli side, we are not seeing any kind of a celebration from the Jewish community or the Israeli citizens rejoicing over the dead body, or calling out some sort of Am Israeli Chai or something like that, or Hallelujah or something, which is in Hebrew, to rejoice over the killing. But at the same time, you can find Allahu Akbar being called when a Jew is killed, and you find that person dragged from Israel into the Gaza. Even their dead bodies are even held hostage, even the dead body, and bargaining over that. And that's not seen on from the other side. So that's the clear difference. So if a person from the community, within the community, does something wrong like this, the community comes out and calls it out, and they just reject that person, reject that activity. They calls out it as a violent action, and they even punish them, prosecute them. That's the model action that we are expecting, and we are seeing from that side. And at the same time, we are not seeing from the other side. And that's the difference. So trying to equate morally, that totally shatters when this come to this point. So that's one thing which I can share it here, where Israel has done something really wrong with this person in West Bank. Yeah.
Oh, just because he was an American, that was wrong?
No, that not that he
Okay.
was person. But I just
Okay.
just
Well,
giving him something
as
which
I've
we can call him. That's it.
yeah, well, as I've
Yeah.
pointed out multiple times on this show, the a number of Israeli journalists have been calling out the Israeli settler violence in the West Bank, which are illegal settlements under international law, that while everyone's been distracted by Gaza, there has been a serious uptick in violence, Israeli violence against Palestinians, and displacements of Palestinians in the West Bank. These are illegal settlements. So there's a whole bigger narrative going on here than just the killing of a Palestinian adult
Calling
and boy.
Yeah, calling that illegal settlements, that's debatable, because uh,
No, it's
the
illegal under international law, though.
international law allows Israel to build their homes and
No, it
expand whatever
doesn't.
things that they have. It is allowed, but we from the beginning we categorically call that as a illegal settlement by definition, and that's not right. That's what I'm saying. We must have a debate over that in a separate session, at least with a person who is from that region, an Israeli versus a Palestinian. If we can bring someone like that, that should happen at this stage at least. We should do that. So that's one area. And if even if you see this, that's what I was telling you even previously, that this is not celebrated in any manner if this happens from Israeli side. And if a journalist calls out the problem from the Israeli side, and they point out a problem or an error from the side of Israel, you won't see that person getting targeted, getting killed, or they getting amputated, or some bullets passing through his skull. We are not seeing that. But at the same time, when you look at the Hamas, what they do to the people who calls out the atrocities of Hamas within their own population. We have seen multiple footages where they are shooting at the civilians, own civilians, just for the reason that they called out the Hamas for their shooting at the aid site, looting the aid, then for calling to end the occupation, end the freedom fight, what we call, which is being done by the Hamas. So just for these reasons, what we are seeing is Hamas shooting on people, but we are not seeing on this side. So okay, I agree that things are happening, wrong things are happening on both sides, but we cannot compare both and we cannot judge this is also wrong, that is also no, we cannot do that. Wrong is happening on both sides, and we have to discuss it objectively, but understanding the circumstances and understanding intention. We it's not right that we miss the intention and we miss the whole picture and just pick something and just try to blame someone. That's not happen. That's not the right way. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, there's a propaganda on both sides. There's bad on both sides. There's good on both sides. I mean,
Right.
there's good Israelis, there's good Palestinians. So again, we're gonna have to wait. Like I think Hamas's days are numbered. I think the people, I would assume, making an educated guess that the Palestinian people are pretty much done with Hamas.
Yeah.
So
Can I share this
sure,
another news from
sure.
the Syria, which is happening over now? That is the Druze community being targeted by the Bedouins over there, the tribes, and later the HTS under Jolani. He is sending the troops and shooting and killing the Druze community over there, and it's a kind of a genocide which is happening over there, and the whole international community is silent, and we are not seeing any sort of
Well,
actions,
I'd say
any sort
there.
of
I've seen quite a few news stories about this topic, so I wouldn't say
yes,
it's been completely silent.
news are coming out, but we don't see the kind of protests which the Ivy League universities were uh, having when the Gaza Israel issue was going on. Totally silent, because it's not about genocide, it's not about people getting killed, or it's not about the victims or occupation or something. It's all about religion. That's what it proves, because now the killing is done by the one religion, and the victims are another religion, and they cannot say this. So the picture becomes more clear what exactly is the real reasons behind, or the driving force, the motivation behind all such protests. And also there's a hand for the Muslim Brotherhood, uh, who sponsor all such protests, and they try to cash in such activities for their own growth and benefits, and to milk money from the people and to build their own empires. So that's what we saw with Yahya Sinwar, Hania, and those billionaires who were living a luxurious life in Qatar. So for here, what we are seeing here is no one speaking for a support for these people. And right now, the exact number of the death is almost 600 killed last week, and by now it's almost 1,200 people who got killed. So the number is increasing day by day, and there's no sight of an abatement in the violence which is happening. And even today I could see some videos where horrible footages, where people just lined up and getting shot. And that's not able to, you won't be able to watch that in a way. It's totally horrific. And the best part is that they all record all these things, and they just upload everything onto their own channels on Telegram and other places, just to terrorize, because that's their way of doing it, to terrorize the people. And that's one reason why we call them as terrorists. So it's happening over and over. And one more news is that a US citizen is uh, who got killed, and he was a Druze, and he was shot, and he was among the 8 people who got killed. So he's the person is here. His name is Hossam Saraya, a 35-year-old Syrian American, was among 8 men whose killing was captured on a video that circulated on social media. And this is the video which I was mentioning: 8 people lined up and getting shot. So this is what is going on in that region, and we need to raise our voices, because this is nothing minor, because this is a big problem, and we have to address this. And we cannot let another Yazidi genocide kind of thing, which happened in 2014, to repeat. So the world was silent when Yazidi genocide was happening, so we cannot stay silent on this. And
I did
everything
see.
again.
I saw a headline that the new leader of Syria he sent troops to try to calm the the violence against the Druze. So at least he's taking steps, at least nominally taking steps, um, to combat the violence against this community. So at least that's
But
something.
that's
He
not
could have turned his back, right? I mean, let it
but
happen, but
that's not
he's
effective. That's not effective, and he's not able to control his own men. Who is the leader, the president of Syria, Jolani? He himself is an ex-jihadi, but at the same time, he comes from a group which is like Al Qaeda, ISIS, and they are still present over there. So they are not obeying what he is telling. And we can even listen to the Allahu Akbar behind all the shootings and the bombings over there, and the horrific sights of the people getting shaved, and that's the image which we see here, because they just do this to humiliate the person, because that's how they do it, to humiliate the person. Because if you imagine how a person would feel if a Muslim gets caught and he is shaven with his the beard, what would be the outcome? That's an act of humiliation. Yeah, totally embarrassing for them, and they are purposefully doing this. And that's how the world is watching all this happening, unfolding all this. So yeah, this is something which we are seeing, and this is also having so much parallels between what the Nazi Germany was doing to the Jews over there, shaving and cutting their mustaches and the beards and humiliating them. So history repeats sometimes. Okay.
sadly.
This is it, sadly. Yeah.
Okay. So that's it for the news this week of the main stories. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
And to sum up, we can just add on to some reports from the Sahel region. That's the West Africa region, where the caliphate kind of attacks, or the calls for caliphate, the replacement for the official governments and other bodies, to replace that with caliphates, is now increasing over that region. And that's by the new wave of attacks from ISIS and Al Qaeda. They are keep on doing their own activities like that, and now people are getting killed. And very recently, as per the report that we can read here, it's like over 850 people killed by insurgent attacks in May alone. That's the number. So just like that, the numbers are increasing. It's not just in any country. It's like in Mali, in Nigeria, Niger, then Burkina Faso, and all these regions. They are seeing increasing number of violence, and there's no sign of any kind of a reduction in that. So, so that region might become an Islamic caliphate very soon. That's what the prediction says. So let's see
That's
how
good.
it goes. Yeah.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on that for the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Great. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see everybody on the next show. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.